The Mommy Wines podcast is a Mommy Wines Network and Emma Dawn production. Brought to you by Coffee Over Cardio, NakedWines.com, and Zaya Active.
Hi Emma, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm sorry, that was I'm just not used to this modern technology of podcasts.
Yes, it's very high tech over here on the
I'm
Mommy
loving
Wines
it.
podcast.
Well, I saw I was supposed to call into Anchor and I was like, what is Anchor?
Yeah, that's I know I've gotten a few questions because I'm never on the other end. So people are like, "Oh, do I need to download the app or do you send me a link?" And I was like, "Oh, I send you a link, but I've never been on the other end."
Yeah.
So like I didn't know they had to download the app and then click the link. And in my calendar, it's like, "Oh, are you local or are we doing this over Anchor?" And I think I should just put in there like, "Oh, if it's Anchor, like download the app," because
Yeah.
it is like a struggle sometimes because if like I don't know, sometimes I forget that like not everyone podcasts. So like you know
Right.
what
You're
I'm
like,
talking
you're in the podcasting world. Yeah.
about. Yeah.
I listen to them, but I don't podcast myself.
You
But
should. It's
I'm
fun.
very excited. I'm excited to join this one. It's my first foray into podcasting.
Really? It's the first one you've ever been on?
Yeah, it is. I was supposed to do one actually. Oh, this is like crazy. I was supposed to do one with a lady and it was called Mummy Passport, I think. And actually I'm supposed to rearrange it. And she was going to do a podcast with me and interview me about the business and about Glowy. And for real, I gave birth like 10 days early and the podcast was the day after I gave birth.
Oh no.
And obviously, because I gave birth, I kind of forgot that I was doing this podcast. And she's like texting me, going, "Hey, my like podcast guy is about to like hook you up and ready to go." And I got it like 2 hours later, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm really sorry, but I have got the best excuse ever. I just gave birth." So we
That's
never redid
great.
the podcast. So yeah, I seem to be notorious for missing podcasts because obviously I missed our first scheduled time that we were supposed to meet. So sorry about that.
Oh no, that's okay. You had two good excuses. One, having a baby, and and the other one was that New York Marathon.
I know, that was pretty crazy.
So,
Living in New York with kids.
yeah, go ahead and kind of just introduce yourself and tell the audience what you do.
Okay, so my name's Lucy, and I'm the founder of Glowy. And Glowy is a new maternity brand. We just launched earlier this year. We soft launched mainly with family and friends. We launched a small fashion collection of complete coverage nursing, like really, really cool, stylish maternity and nursing clothing that you actually want to wear, all beautiful Italian fabrics. So we launched that earlier this year, and then about 3 weeks ago, we launched our kind of key foundational item of Glowy, which is this incredible legging. So it's a legging that you can wear through all 9 months of pregnancy, and then you can wear that same legging postpartum, and it doesn't go all saggy and baggy. You know how like leggings after you've like given birth, or like even as you get bigger, they just kind of like lose their shape. It's this incredible fabric that just looks really amazing. You can wear it to like brunch, you can dress it up with heels to work, you can wear it for yoga. And then the beauty of it is it's got this built-in support band that basically supports your back and cradles the weight of your belly. So it just feels amazing and is super supportive and great. So yeah, we launched that like 3 weeks ago.
And
And yeah. So it's crazy. I'm a mum of two kids, and I just gave birth to my second child on Labor Day. Um,
Fitting.
yes, exactly, right. So yeah, it's been a trip because trying to run a business and looking after two kids and a newborn is extremely tiring,
Oh yeah.
to say the least.
Just get an IV of coffee.
Coffee, yeah, coffee and wine. I,
Yes.
I am drinking a glass of wine. I'm presuming all of your guests should be drinking a glass of wine while they're talking to you, right?
I highly promote that, yes, but not everyone does, and sometimes I do recordings in the morning, just depending on like how I can schedule everybody and make it fit. Because oftentimes my guests are moms just like me. Sometimes they're not, but oftentimes they are, or they're women in business and things. So trying to get my schedule plus my son's schedule to match, my guest schedule, it can be a challenge. So sometimes I record in the morning. So sometimes my
Not
morning
always wine.
guests aren't hair and the dog, but
Unless I've been having a really hard week.
right, yeah.
The holidays are fast approaching, and what would make a better gift for the wine lover in your life, or even maybe yourself, than a nakedwines.com wine box? I have loved trying the nakedwines.com wines, and my taste palette has definitely become more sophisticated. Plus, all the wines from nakedwines.com are crafted by independent, passionate winemakers, not big label brands that have more additives in their bottles than actual wine itself. Get a nakedwines.com wine box delivered, filled with wines made with love directly to your door this holiday season. Use code MOMMYWINES50 to get 6 bottles for only $34.99. That's MOMMYWINES50 to get 6 bottles of wine for only $34.99 from nakedwines.com. Or you can go ahead and click the link in the show notes below.
I loved this time because I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm missing like the first part of the nighttime crazy routine.
There you go.
I said to my husband, I was like, yeah, I've got a podcast to do. I'm just going to be in another room. You look after the kids. Bye.
Oh man, you might want to check in and make sure the kids aren't, drowning in the bathtub eating candy.
I know I did just put some chicken nuggets under the grill on high, so hopefully he's checking on them.
Might burn your house down. You never know. Oh, so how was that marathon? Was it crazy in New York?
It was crazy. Yeah, the New York Marathon is it's a great, it's a great event every year. It gets like you watch it, you start crying, especially I was like, postpartum hormones, seeing all the amazing people running. You're like, oh my God, this is so incredible. I could never do this. So it was great. But we then decided to go to Costco, which was the biggest mistake ever because we then couldn't get home from Costco, and we don't have a car in Brooklyn, so we got dumped out of our Uber with like an entire car's worth of shopping on the sidewalk. Luckily, outside a bar, so I sat outside the bar with my daughter and my baby and had a glass of wine actually because I was very stressed out while my husband went home, got his bicycle, and then just with a little trailer and just cycled back and forth about 5 times to get all of our Costco shopping home. So that's city living.
You sent me a photo of this. I might have to post it on my Instagram story.
Yes, please do.
It was the most like New York thing I think I've ever seen was this bicycle, and it's very handy to have that cart on the back, but
very handy. Very handy.
Luckily you had it because I wouldn't imagine going to Costco without a car.
Well, it's one of those like random gifts that you get your partner and they basically don't get out of the box, and then they really need it and they quickly get out of the box. They're like, oh, this is why you bought this for me. For moments like this.
So
where are you based?
Currently I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Oh, amazing.
So it's very
Awesome.
snowy and mountainy and
Yeah,
crazy right now.
beautiful. Yeah, I love that area. I've not yet been into the city, but I've gone skiing in Salt Lake, and yeah, it's really, really beautiful area.
I'm actually considering moving over to like the Park City area and
Oh,
that's where a
yeah.
lot of people go skiing and snowboarding and things.
I've been to Park City. I love it. Yeah, it'd be a fantastic place to live.
I I like that side of the mountain range because the Salt Lake is kind of a it's like settled inside like this circle or enclosure of mountains, and there's a lot of pollution. So I'm looking at trying to get outside of this little valley area.
Right.
And I think Park City is probably my favorite area of Utah. So I've been looking over there, and I might, make the trek onto the other side of that mountain,
Yeah, that
which
sounds great.
driving through the canyons isn't always easy, but I'm a homebody. Once I get over there, I probably won't come back that often.
I love it, and a great place to bring up a toddler. Well, to bring up any children.
Oh yeah, he loves it over there. We drive over there probably more than we should because right now it's only about 40 minutes from my house now. Well, now that it snowed, it's probably like 2 hours and 40 minutes, but um on nice weather, it's only about 40 minutes. So we drive over there a ton because there's a little fast food burger place. I think there's only one of them like around. It's like a family owned burger place, but my son loves it because it's themed after like toy train sets.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and it's in Heber City. And then there's also a train. It's called the Heber Creeper. It's like this slow moving old train that they've like kept up with the maintenance, and they've remodeled it, and they do like train rides, but they're like old themey Western train rides.
Oh,
Um,
awesome.
and we've ridden that train. I can't even tell you, probably 10 times. And so we are always over there because my son is just obsessed with it. And there's all kinds of little shops, and it's just quieter. Like I can take him shopping
Yeah,
over there, and I don't have to constantly be watching him like I would have to be like downtown Salt Lake City. 'Cause
right.
it's just a little bit quieter, and especially if you're a local. If it's like right now, it's crazy because it's winter, but it's like their tourist season.
Yeah.
So it's probably more hectic over there right now, but like in the summertime, like nobody's really over there, which is
Oh, I can
crazy. But
imagine. Yeah, and I can imagine it's beautiful in the summertime as well.
oh, it's so pretty.
That's
You're
awesome.
from England, right?
Yeah, originally from the UK.
And what brought you to NYC?
So I actually came over to New York as an intern. I was doing fashion design in the UK, and I came over here for 1 year to be an intern at American Eagle. And I fell in love with the city. I just loved the energy of New York. It's just the city that never sleeps. It's so fun, especially for a 21-year-old.
Oh yeah.
It was amazing. I just turned 21. And I was like, wow, this place is so cool. Um, Out every night, drinking way too much. And yeah, so I vowed, like, after I finished my degree, I'm going to come back out, which I did. And I was out here for a couple more years. And then I had a calling to go back to the UK to work for a big British luxury brand called Burberry. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, so I went back there and I was a designer at Burberry for nearly 5 years. And then I moved back to the US in 2010, and I actually was in Columbus, Ohio for a couple of years.
No
Um,
way.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
from Ohio.
Oh, are you? Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. Whereabouts?
Well, not Columbus, but Cleveland.
Oh, yay. That's awesome. I like Cleveland.
Cleveland rocks. Literally, like that's their
Yeah.
slogan.
Yeah, it's a cool city. I liked Ohio, like people are super friendly there.
Oh, they're
Um,
so nice.
yeah, and I don't know. I mean, having a British accent in Ohio gets you really far. People love the British accent there.
Everyone will be your friend for sure.
And everyone seems to think I know all about the royal family. And, I think they hear that I've got a British accent and it's like, oh, she must be best friends with Kate and Meghan Markle. It's like,
I
no.
don't care about the royal family, but did you watch 2019 of Love Island?
No, but
Are you a fan of the Mommy Wines podcast? Well, of course you are, or you wouldn't be hearing this right now. One of the best ways to support the show you love, besides obviously tuning in every Wine Wednesday for new episodes, is shopping the Mommy Wines merch store on teespring.com. This is where you'll find all of the Mommy Wines branded goodness, mugs to hold your coffee over cardio morning Java, iPhone and Samsung cases, premium ultra soft hoodies perfect for upcoming cooler months, and of course, flowy tees and tanks flattering on every mommy out there. Go shop the Mommy Wines storefront on teespring.com and make sure to use code WINEMOM for free shipping.
is that the UK or is it an American version of Love Island?
Oh, no, I watched the UK version of Love Island.
Oh my God, that's amazing that you know about Love Island.
I watch a lot of like BBC because I watch The Only Way is Essex too. But
Oh
yeah,
my God,
I'm like
yeah.
a sucker for like really just garbage reality TV. And
Oh, I love it. Well, I actually gifted a pair of leggings to Lucy Mecklenburg. I don't know if you've heard of her. She was in Made in
yeah.
Chelsea. Did you ever see that one? Yeah. So she's pregnant at the
I
moment.
loved her. She was the one that had like the super long red hair, right?
No, she's got brown hair. I don't know if she ever maybe once had red hair, but no, she's got brown hair. And yeah, she's pregnant at the moment, so hopefully she'll be wearing her glowy leggings soon.
Cute. Yeah, I'm just a sucker for like the reality TV. But yeah, that's what I watch is The Only Way is Essex, and I think the one I was watching was Something Amy.
Absolutely love it.
And then
Oh, I don't know that one. Do you so you can understand everyone in the TV shows like The Only Way is
when I
Essex?
first started watching The Only Way is Essex, it took me like 4 episodes, and I had to go back and rewatch them. But then like right after that, I get everything. Like I even had, because there's like 50 episodes of Love Island. So I have it playing
Yeah.
because I have a home office here where I like do my podcast recordings and I work from home. Because I do like bookkeeping and payroll for small businesses, and I mostly do that from home. So I have a home office here, and I have like a TV in there, and I have been using that as like background noise. And I like I tune in because, like bookkeeping and stuff, that's not like the most thrilling, exciting job ever. I'm not like, an extreme snowboarder or something cool, but so I have like some entertainment on in the background, and I just finished the last episode of the 2019 season this morning.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That's hilarious.
I was like so rooting for some people, but they didn't win.
I need to get up on it. All of my friends in the UK watch Celebrity Love Island. Well, yeah. Is it because it's the celebrity one, right? Or is it normal people? Because they did a celebrity
was like
one.
A mix, because it had like Tommy Fury, which is like a boxer guy.
Yeah,
like a basketball player, and like so there were some kind of like probably D-list celebrities, but a lot of them were like Instagram influencers or like boutique owners.
Right. I need to. So what do you watch it on?
Hulu.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna get on that. That's tonight sorted.
Yeah, I have Hulu, and it has a ton of BBC shows. Like there's a lot of like Canadian shows and UK shows.
I love it. Right, you solved my Saturday night viewing dilemma. Love Island it is. Take me back. Take me back.
There's 50 episodes, so you'll be busy for a while. So what
Oh.
inspired you to start Glowy?
Well, I was at Under Armour, and I was there for nearly 5 years. And obviously, working at one of the world's largest sportswear brands, I got to work across loads of incredible like innovations and fabrications. It was a really awesome job. I then got pregnant with my first, and while I was pregnant, you know, as with so many mums, I feel like I couldn't find any decent maternity clothes,
Nope.
things that I could, you know, go to work in, but go work out in, like that I could dress up, dress down. You know, I found that I could get things that were really fashionable but like cheap and poor quality, or super functional but not necessarily fashionable. Like I couldn't
Yeah.
find the two. I was like, there's got to be a brand out there that has really cool, fashionable maternity clothes that are also solving a problem and that are really functional. Because that was what I was doing at Under Armour, you know, it was like make all athletes better. You know, we were always looking at like, how can we help the athlete be a better athlete? So I was like, there must be clothes that can help you and also look really great. And I couldn't find any. So, um, I went back to work after my maternity leave, and I didn't think anything of it. And I was the head of women's design, working on the Misty Copeland collection. Do you know Misty?
I, I don't.
She's the lead dancer at ABT. So she's amazing. She is the lead dancer at ABT, American Ballet Theatre, and she has a signature collection
Cool.
with Under Armour, and yeah, so I worked on that with her, and she's got great fashion style, but obviously all of her clothes needed to perform. So it was this amazing kind of challenge of how can we make incredible performance clothing that also looks super fashionable. So that's kind of where I got the idea, and I just I just started making leggings at home, literally like in my kitchen. I was like testing like little actually I started off making these little like belly bands, and I was like ironing them and sewing them up in my kitchen and like doing all of the patterns, and I would literally like find pregnant women on the street and just stop them, and people just thought I was crazy because especially in New York you do actually get stopped by crazy people sometimes, and you know I'd be like, hi, you're pregnant, and get a funny look. And then when I'd explain, you know, people were always really eager to help. So I started putting these belly bands on women, and I was getting really good feedback. You know, like people were saying, "Oh, I wore the belly band that you gave me all day, and my lower back that." Pain that I've been having, like I didn't have it that day, and you know then I didn't wear it the other day, and then my lower back pain came back, and you know when it would come time for me to get belly bands off the wear testers, they wouldn't want to give them back to me. So I was like, okay, I think I have something here. Um, and so I just continued on making prototypes, and then I thought, well, I should try and see if there's going to be someone that would want to produce this and like you know help bring it to life. So I never really set out to start my own business. You know, I feel like fashion, I've worked in fashion my whole career, and I feel like you know women's wear in particular is a really oversaturated market. You know, there's so much
Yeah.
waste in fashion. You know, we're bringing kids into the world, and it's like the amount of waste in fashion is just terrible. So I didn't really want to contribute to that by starting another brand. However, I felt compelled to just keep going on with this project of making these leggings, you know, which turned out to be Glowy. And then it just snowballed, and it got to the point where I couldn't keep doing my day job and do this at the same time. So I decided to take the leap and create a business. So that was about a year and a half ago. And yeah, it's taken 2 years to get the product to market. When you're a small startup, there's a lot of, daily battles that
Yeah.
that come up that you just don't realize. It's crazy how when you work for a large corporation, how much you take for granted. And when it's just myself and my business partner, and you have to literally do everything. So I've learned a lot of new
Well,
skills.
I'm feeling that because I've always consulted since about like 2013 on and off, but now I'm doing it full time. So I've kind of like left corporate financial America and now I'm just doing it on my own. And I'm like, oh, well, now I'm marketing and I have to schedule myself and I have to be
Yeah,
disciplined and I have to, I'm client relations and I'm this and I'm that and I'm the website designer and I'm, doing all of these things. And I do,
exactly. Because you are your own brand. If you're selling your services, right, you're
yeah,
your own brand.
but that's awesome.
And there's so much that comes with that,
Yeah, for sure.
right? Website designer, social media manager. I mean, like your resume now you can literally put
Yeah.
anything on it.
My resume is just one page, one sentence. I wear all hats.
Oh yes,
My name is Emily.
exactly.
Are you a coffee lover just like me? Sipping my morning Java is the only way I can keep up with my toddler and busy lifestyle. That's why I love Coffee Over Cardio. Coffee Over Cardio is a premium coffee company started by female entrepreneur Abby Scott. Whether you love a good flavored blend or a strong roast, Coffee Over Cardio is ideal for any jitterbug. They are also carb free, keto friendly, sugar free, and gluten free. So, pretty much that means they're completely guilt free. Try Coffee Over Cardio's most popular flavors today: French toast and new Doctor's Orders vanilla hazelnut. Yum! Make sure to use code 10EMADON to save at checkout. Once again, that's 10EMADON at coffeeovercardio.com.
Yeah, but I was just listening to this podcast the other day and it was talking about entrepreneurship and they were saying that um you know they think entrepreneurship is just so everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, but really, all it is it's you've created a solution to a problem. And I think that is just like exactly what you did. You saw a need and a problem and you created a solution. And honestly, like I wore like the H&M maternity line because it was easily
Mhm.
accessible. I could go in, I could try the things on. They were affordable because I knew I probably would only wear them for a month or two and then that was it. And they were not bashing H&M because I do love them, but maternity clothes are just not known for being comfortable or long lasting because they're typically made to be, worn for a month or two or three and then, kind of
Mhm.
discarded. But I just like, I couldn't even imagine what my pregnancy would have been like or the difference it would have made if I would have just had something that made me a little bit more comfortable, like, or
Yeah,
lasted the whole time.
it's game
I
changing.
I bet. I might have
Exactly.
to have another kid just to try it out.
You should do. Yeah, I mean, Glowy is a more premium product, but you basically get what you pay for. And our leggings, you can wear them for years to come. I'm 12 weeks postpartum now, and I'm still wearing the same pair of leggings that I wore throughout my pregnancy. And they still fit me really beautifully. You can wear them not pregnant. You could buy them before you even get pregnant. But the whole point behind the brand and behind the philosophy is, we don't want to just make another throwaway fashion item. We try and work as sustainably as possible. All of our packaging is sustainable. We're actually going to be coming out with a lighter weight legging that's made from recycled fabric as well. And we've created something that's really quality. It's made to last. And it's made to kind of like fit with your changing body. So the fabric's incredible. It grows with you, and then as you kind of you give birth, and then you slowly go back to maybe your pre-birth weight, although I don't know how many of us actually do that.
If you're lucky.
If you're really lucky, right? But yeah, so they last you a really long time, and they're super comfortable and chic. So hopefully, a lot of women will enjoy wearing them, and like the support that they give them as well.
That's awesome. I was actually just doing some research on a fulfillment centers, and there's an entirely eco-friendly manufacturer and just like fulfillment center in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they do everything, like there's like solar panels on the roof, and they like recycle everything, and they make a lot of like different merchandise, but they mostly do fulfillment and like shipping and receiving and stuff. And it's like all of their packaging is eco-friendly, everything's like recycled. I have no idea, but I was like looking it up.
That is very
And
cool.
yeah,
Yeah, you'll have to give me their information.
yeah. I've noticed a lot of fulfillment centers and stuff are going to a more eco-friendly route, just because like they have so much waste, and it's oftentimes a lot easier for like warehouses and things to start going a little bit more eco-friendly than it is in some other industries. But yeah, I found them in Columbus because I always, when I'm looking for companies, or I mostly work in Utah and in Ohio, just because like if I ever want to go home, or if I ever get the chance to move back, I was like, oh, I already have clients there. So yeah, they're in Columbus, and I was looking at them because I have merch for the podcast, and I was looking at them to be the fulfillment. But yeah, they're right there in Columbus.
That is very cool. I will definitely check them out.
Okay, wine moms, I have an announcement. I will no longer be taking a commission from my Zaya Active sales. Instead, I want you all to shop through the Mothers Without Borders event when you visit my Zaya Active website and snag up your favorite activewear. Every quarter, I will take the proceeds from the event and donate them directly to Mothers Without Borders. This is a nonprofit organization that aids orphaned children and empowers the local women living in Zambia. I recently had the pleasure of meeting this organization's head operators and connected with their mission. Now, since a 33-hour flight going across the world would leave me in a constant state of pure and utter panic, I am donating my revenue instead of my lack of laborer or chef skills. Nobody wants that. To do your part to help and join the cause, all you have to do is shop the Mothers Without Borders event on myzaya.com/Emadan, or you can donate directly at motherswithoutborders.org.
I didn't really have a maternity leave because I have my own business. But what's so nice is that I know that, after 12 weeks, I'll be working, but I'll still be with the baby because I work from home. And, I have all of these wonderful friends that I've met through my birth group. And, I see all these women around me that are all having to go back to work when the baby's 12 weeks. And it's just so sad, because the 12-week mark is when they do start smiling back at you, and you feel like you're finally getting something back from them.
Yeah.
And it's just so sad. And that was the thing I was saying about, I come from the UK, and you can take up to a year maternity leave. It's not all paid, but you do get up to a year off. And, it's really hard in corporate America that women just have such a short amount of maternity leave. And I feel like 12 weeks is good for some people, some people don't even get to take that much time off. And I hope that changes at some point.
Well, yeah, 12 weeks. That is a lot, because there was a girl in my department at the last place I worked at, which was a credit union here in Utah. And she was getting ready to go on maternity leave, and only, I think she said, 2 of the weeks were paid, but she got 6 weeks off.
Wow.
And I'm like, 6 weeks? You're going to come back to work after 6 weeks? Like, I could not even imagine having to put
No,
Milo in daycare at 6 weeks old.
it's mind blowing. It's awful. They're so little then,
Yeah.
they can't hold their head up. They're just so vulnerable at that time. Yeah. It's tough. I hope the laws change at some point, or corporate America like just gives better maternity leave, because it's yeah, it's really hard, I think.
Well, one of the things too is like I was sitting at my office because I did negotiate when I did go back to work, I negotiated like working from home flexibility
Hmm. Yeah,
just because like nowadays there's really no like dire need in a lot of positions to really be sitting in a cubicle at an office, you know,
exactly.
with technology and software and stuff. Like it's just not very necessary for everyone unless you're like a people facing, person. You might,
Position, yeah.
yeah, but um
I
like,
completely agree. And I think actually, I think, newer kind of smaller startup brands really understand that and embrace that. And I think, sort of older like corporate America is really slow to kind of get with the times and see that, you can have a really great global company from people that are working in different, cities or different states or different countries either. And, with modern technology, like you said, you don't all need to be in the same place.
oh yeah, definitely. Like even before becoming a mom, like a lot of the things that I would do, uh what actually brought me to Las Vegas, we were talking about earlier, is I was doing a lot of traveling, and those people were all over the world, and we would write these blog posts and we would send them in. And even right now I have a publishing firm that's based in the UK, and they contribute a lot of like lifestyle and home and business kind of blog posts like as a contributor on my website. And
Yeah.
like I work so closely with that publishing firm, and they're actually working on a series of children's books,
Oh, awesome.
and they're probably, you know, going to be my publishing firm, and I might never even see them in person. But we've been working together for over 3 years now, and
Wow, yeah.
we work so closely almost daily, at least 3 to 4 times a week. And yeah, I've been on video conferences, but I've never seen them in person, and we have a very successful partnership. So, I don't know. I hope that, work flexibility, you know, starts becoming more of the norm, because it's such a struggle, especially for
It is.
women in the workplace, to have that balance.
It totally is, and I think it puts so much pressure. And I think, when you do go back to work, you know, like I think women struggle with having to leave on time to like pick up the baby from daycare, or like release the nanny. And it's, you always worry about being that mum, or that one that's like leaving early, or and like even just a couple of minutes early. And I think like women put so much pressure on themselves, but also get so much pressure from the corporate America that they're, the corporate companies that they're working for, to be everything to everyone.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
Well, when I was working in an office, I was never able to take a lunch. I always had to eat at my desk.
Yeah,
Because if I would have taken a lunch in the rush hour traffic to get from my suburb to, or from downtown to my suburb, if I would have taken a lunch, I wouldn't have been able to pick Milo up from daycare on time.
right.
So I had to wake up, get him up, get both of us ready, get both of us dressed, get both of us out the door, drop him off, drive all the way downtown, work my 8 hours with no lunch, no breaks, just 8 hours straight, and then sit in traffic for an hour and a half and then pick him up
Wow.
from daycare and bring him home. And it was dreadful.
Yeah. And if you're doing that on your own as well, it's not like you get home and then have a break. Your
Oh,
second
yeah.
job begins, your other full-time job.
I know. I need to find one of those husband things everyone keeps talking about. They seem to really like them, but I just haven't jumped on that bandwagon yet.
These husband things, yeah. They can be useful at times.
At times. I was always curious if the usefulness outweighs the times when you feel like you have two children and not just one.
I don't know actually. I need to like count up the times where you just feel like you have two children. Yeah, no, I definitely. Or you feel like you're just talking to a brick wall. Like
Right.
you talk to everyone and no one answers you.
Well, okay, you send me a pro and con list and then I'll reevaluate
Your situation.
my situation.
And then maybe you'll just decide to just get a babysitter once in a while instead.
I know. It's so crazy because no, I really would. I would love to be married, but to get married, you have to do the whole dating thing.
Yeah.
It's just like so exhausting. And I'm like, man, I turned 30 this year and I'm like, I'm just, I'm tired. I'm a mom, I have like multiple projects and a couple businesses that I run and operate. And it's just like,
Wow.
when am I going to have the time or the energy or the want to put in the effort to date? Because
Yeah.
that's the thing. You got to put in your work, to get the reward. And I'm like, man, I might just reevaluate this whole getting married situation.
For sure, for sure. And I'm sure for you as well, being a mum, you want to make sure that you're dating the right person, you know. I'm sure you're very protective of your son as well, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, you want to make sure that you're meeting with people that are normal, not crazy.
That's also a struggle because, back in the day, I would, go on a date and have no cares about it. But now I get one DM on Instagram and I'm like running his name, Googling him, seeing if he has a record.
I can imagine. I mean, that's like social media is so good in some ways, but so bad in others.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it's good to just be like, none the wiser.
I know. So we do typically confess on this show. I don't know if I prepared you for that, but do you have a confession?
So, what sort of things do we confess to?
Oh, all kinds of things. Silly stories, embarrassing moments, mommy confessions.
Oh, okay. Um, I feel like I should have a good mummy confession.
Well, yeah, you have two. You have twice the chances of having a mommy confession.
I know, right? Wow. Gosh. Yeah. I mean, I would say one of my confessions will be that I tell a lot. I mean, this is not a very big confession, but because I think every parent does this. But I tell a lot of white lies to my children to just make the bedtime routine go that little bit quicker. If you, I'll get you an ice cream tomorrow. A lot of like bargaining, constantly bargaining because I'm just thinking as soon as they're down, I can like sit down on the sofa, glass of wine, and relax.
Yeah.
So I'd say I am the master of white lies, which I feel very guilty about. But then I think, well, they're not going to remember any of this. I never remembered anything before I was 7 years old. So,
Man, I hope. They say that it subconsciously molds them, but I'm like, oh man, I hope not.
yeah, exactly. I mean, one confession, it's not really a confession, it was just like a total mum fail, is I was potty training my daughter and wow, no, you know how like there's certain things that no one tells you about, like they don't tell you about what happens after you've given birth and how you like, can't sit down for 3 weeks and that kind of thing. Like no one talks about any of that.
Oh yeah, nobody.
And I feel like no one really talks about potty training and how horrible it is. I don't know anyone that's had a good potty training experience, but
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be packing diapers in Milo's suitcase when he goes off to college because this kid is never going to be potty trained. I swear.
It's just like, yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. But I was potty training my daughter and I did an epic mum fail of basically going out with her without a change of clothes. And it was a pretty cold day and we were out an art gallery. And it was quite a fancy art exhibition. And of course, my daughter wet herself.
Oh
And
no.
she ended up like going around this art exhibition with me in just like a little pack away like anorak and her sneakers and like literally like nothing else.
Oh no.
So I was that mum that like, has their daughter basically like semi-naked walking around because I totally forgot to bring a change of clothes. So if you're potty training, definitely take at least one change of clothes with you when you go out.
Oh geez. Well, I have a confession and I'm not sure if I've told this on the podcast already or not, but I feel like it's very suited for your episode because the other day Milo has a Build-A-Bear and he got it for his birthday. And if you want a budget-friendly birthday idea, take your
Yeah.
kid to Build-A-Bear on their birthday because the bear only costs how much their age is.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, so last year when he turned 2, I was like, "Oh, well, what am I gonna do with a 2-year-old for his birthday?" But I took him to Build-A-Bear, and I get up to the checkout, and his bear is only $2,
Love
uh,
it.
which was great. I was like, "Wow, I expected to spend like $50 on this Build-A-Bear," but yeah,
It's
2 bucks.
amazing. Yeah.
But Milo has had this thing for a whole year. And I was thinking a few days ago, I was like, okay, I should really wash this bear because he turned 3. Well, actually, it wasn't a couple days ago, it was a couple months ago because he turned 3 in September. And I was like, he's had it for a year. I should really launder like this bear, right? Well, I was like thinking about it and I was like, okay, I'm just going to toss it in the next time I wash his clothes. Well, we have been on and off trying to potty train, and Milo is in the bathroom. And of course, he takes his bear named Thomas to the bathroom. And I thought he was just going to sit him on his lap. Nope. I go in there, and my son is buck naked with his bear covered in poo, and he's sticking him in and out of the toilet. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not waiting to wash this bear for his laundry hamper to be full. I'm going to wash it now. Well, I guess my son had thrown in a shoe into the washing machine. So I thought I put the bear in by himself, but there was a shoe in there. So the part of the bear that they pull to seal up the back where they put in the fluff
Yeah.
had ripped. The string had ripped because the shoe must have, beaten it up in the washing machine.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I got to take this bear because my son is now devastated. This is his prized possession, his favorite thing on the planet.
But he was just sticking down the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
As a 2-year-old does.
But, put it in the toilet that's full of poo. So he's just devastated that the back of this bear has a rip in it and his fluff is coming out. So I was like, okay, I loaded him up. And, after I washed him, washed the bear, gave the baby a bath, that I loaded him up and we went in the car to the mall back to Build-A-Bear to see if they could maybe fix him or we would just have to get a new Thomas. Well, we get to the shopping mall and I go to get him out of his car seat and he smells awful. I was like, you must have just ripped the biggest fart I've ever smelled in my life. And I'm pushing him in the stroller, and I'm like, okay, this smell is still going on. It's overwhelming. I'm taking him to the bathroom. So I take him to, the public bathroom in the mall, and I pick him up, and there's poo all over his back and all over his legs.
Oh
And
my
I put him,
gosh.
it's pretty chilly here, so I put him in some like feety pajamas.
Right.
And it was getting pretty late. It was actually like 7:30 when we decided to leave and go to the mall. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take him, get Thomas fixed, bring him back, and put him straight to bed. Well, he is now covered, total diaper explosion. So I use like half a pack of wipes trying to clean him up, and then I realize that he's wearing footed pajamas, so I can't put those back on him, and I didn't have anything else to put on him. So I put his coat on, I put shoes that were in the stroller on, and then I put a new diaper on him, and then I threw the diaper and the pajamas away. And I was like, okay, well, we're just going to have to stop. We're at a mall. Okay. Like, we can find clothes. This is the place to be if you're ever going to, forget to have an extra pair of clothes on you.
Yeah.
So we go in to H&M. Apparently, that's my store lately. And I was like, okay, we're just going to get him like a little sweatsuit, like sweatpants, sweatshirt.
Yeah.
We go in there, and he is just not having it. He's not wanting any clothes. He doesn't want to put anything on. He had now taken his coat off, so he's just in a diaper and these swimming shoes that were left in the stroller from summer. And he's running around H&M.
Oh my God.
Eventually took one of his shoes off and threw it somewhere. It's now missing. And he is just like throwing a fit. He won't stay in the stroller. He keeps getting in and out. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And everyone is looking at me like I am a complete lunatic because my kid is naked, like stripped down to a diaper. It's 30 degrees outside because it's Utah. And
oh my gosh.
and he is just like he's trying to push his stroller, and then he keeps climbing in and out, and it's also crowded because I didn't realize it, because since I've been working from home, I have like no concept of what day it is. And it's like a Friday night. So
oh my God.
Not only is the mall super busy, but it's also packed full of like high school kids. And they're all looking at me like, all these teenagers are looking at me like, who is this crazy lady with this naked baby in the shopping mall? And so not only did we spend like a half an hour like cleaning him up in the bathroom to not have anything to put back on him, but now we are in H&M and he's throwing the biggest, loudest tantrum and fit and just all over the place, completely in his diaper. He looked like a rugrat.
It's the worst, isn't it? It always happens at the worst time, and you're like, oh no, everyone's gonna think that I'm that mum.
Oh no, I was.
And it's like everyone is that mum. It's like everyone goes through that, like it's completely normal. I have to say, when I see that happen to mums now, I feel like so bad for them, but I also like have this sense of like, yes, I'm not alone. It's not just me that's got crazy kids.
Right.
Thank goodness.
It's also cool too because I was talking to one of my other guests on a different episode about how as soon as you become a mom, you have this like golden ticket and you're like initiated into this club, and like no matter where you are or what you're doing, like I've had random moms I don't know like come up to me and like pick my son's shoe up in like the supermarket, or be at the playground and he's throwing a fit because he doesn't want to leave, and like the mom sitting next to me on the bench decides to leave too, and we both conspire to tell a white lie to our kids that the park is closing. And
yeah.
And
it's nice. It's like an unwritten like club, isn't it? Where
we got the golden ticket.
yeah. No, I think that's it's great that you get to, even if you don't speak to that other mum, and you walk past them on the sidewalk and you both just give each other that like gaze, you know, like,
Yeah.
I see you, sister. I know what you're going through. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice to have that.
And that's one of the missions I have with this podcast. And I know not every one of my guests is a mom, but a lot of them, you know, they just have something to share. And I think it's a group of, you know, the followers of this show are a community. And I love sharing, you know, guests that I think they're going to love and, you know, just kind of embrace this crazy, you know, mom life community and just share some of our confessions. And that's one of the reasons why the confessions segment of the show is one of my favorites, because it's a, you know, it's a little bit of a laugh, and you know,
Yeah.
you don't have to take yourself so seriously. I could have easily, you know, broke down and cried and had a mental breakdown in the middle of H&M, but you know, now I'm just like, it happens.
Yeah. Shit happens,
Shit
literally.
happens. I know that whole story had to do with poo. Poor Thomas wouldn't have been broken if it wasn't for poo, and
Yeah.
if Milo wouldn't have pooed, we could have had Thomas fixed. But yeah, whole story.
But
Shit
hey, shit
happens.
happens.
Well, it was great having you on the show today.
Thank
Tell
you.
everyone where they can find Glowy, or you
Yeah.
know, you on the internet or social media.
Yeah, of course. Please do follow us. Our social media, our Instagram handle is glowy_collection. So it's GLOWE, glowy. And actually, glowy stands for giving love to women everywhere. So
Cute.
that's one of our missions, and we hope to do that. So yeah, so check out Glowy Collection. So that's our Instagram, and then it's glowycollection.com. I don't know when this recording is going out, but we've got a big Black Friday sale. So check us out. We've got 25% off, and if you sign up, then you get some personalized discounts depending on if you're pregnant, if you're postpartum, or neither. You can get a personalized discount as well on top of our Black Friday sale. But definitely check us out and check out the glowy legging. It's absolutely amazing, and you'll never want to take it off. Apart from to give birth, obviously, then you should take it off.
Well, yeah, yeah. Well, unless you're not at the hospital yet, then keep it on.
Yes, exactly. Unless
And
you're
cross
like
your
your
legs.
son, where you just want to take your clothes off.
Oh man, I want to try it.
Yeah, you should do. It's really awesome. It's a good legging. So
Perfect. Well, I loved having you on the show today. You were such a great guest.
thank you for having me, Emma. It was really lovely to talk to you. I will definitely have to podcast again.
Yes. Well, you're always welcome to come back on the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, have a lovely evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
Today's episode of the Mommy Wines podcast was brought to you by NakedWines.com, Zaya Active, and Coffee Over Cardio. Do you love the show? Show your support by shopping the Mommy Wines podcast merch store at teespring.com, or by becoming a monthly supporter of the show by clicking the support button at anchor.fm/mommywines. Or you can use the support link in the show notes below. Have you been wanting to start your own podcast? Join the MW Podcast Network. All info on the MW Network, merch, partnerships, coupon codes, episodes, blog posts, and so much more can be found at themommywines.com. As always, thank you for listening, and until next week, wine moms, parent and drink responsibly.